to cameras only for a second because I don't want to have to play from Forsaken Oracle's point of view here.
Of course, yes. I was ready for cameras the whole time.
You were indeed very ready.
Yes, it's just hell is so comfy, such a nice place to be. So, wow. I mean, sorry, I can't say that. Heck is so comfy, such a nice place to be. Gremlo's birthplace, indeed. Wow. Scenic view. I really would recommend you come here. Gremlo's house, they cook amazing. I had these baby's diapers for dinner. Wonderful, honestly. I don't know. His dad does something with a pea. It's great.
Ah.
So.
Well, you know what the difference between soup and peas is, right?
What?
Well, you can pea soup, but you can't soup pea.
That's terrible.
Anyway.
Have you ever had split pea soup? It's actually, like, tasty. Peas are actually really good.
We're back in game now. Thank you for that short delay, ladies and gentlemen. Luckily, before the horn, we've got a whole entire minute, and we haven't missed any of the action. Although it seems like action is coming. 5RATFORCESTAFF, though, very likely to know that it is with with them hiding underneath the ward. Only Gremlo right now being a little bit aggressive.
I'm glad that Slacks will always be in this game no matter what. The voice line game is pretty on point here. I'm not really sure what Gremlo is doing. The walking back and forth, that's an intimidation factor, I can only suppose. Oh no, they're coming for me. It's Timber Chain.
Oh.
And look at that. You gotta wiggle. Oh, the XD immediately by Forsaken Oracle. That's how you can tell that he A, plays in US East, and B, is older than 25.
Nice try.
As a little tidbit behind the scenes, Forsaken Oracle did say when they asked Cam's ready, he answered all chat ready, which I'm pretty sure the ESL admins just ignored for their own sake.
Yes, for their own mental well-being, most likely. I didn't get to catch their previous game being their first game, but both teams are actually 1-1 heading into this match.
Yes.
So if 5RATFORCESTAFF, who finished 3rd place last season, if I'm not mistaken, are going to be vying for those top 2 slots. Arkosh, of course, dropping from the upper division last season, probably looking for a win as well. I think that
it's a completely different team, though. Let's be honest, or mostly.
For whom?
For 5RATFORCESTAFF.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. So it's a very different team now. I think they still keep some of the core players, particularly Red 2 stands out, but the addition of DNM, I think, alone for Italiano really changes the team altogether.
Yep.
I mean, this team looks stacked if I'm looking at it, by the way. Like, it looks like some of the top tier 2 NA pros right now.
Yeah, they're looking real good. And if you're wondering where Italiano is gone, he has been, well, he was on Mystery Machine for their Open Qualifier run number 1. Didn't make it, unfortunately, through the Open Qualifiers. Mystery Machine then made it through Opens number 2 with Double King instead. DNM's younger brother, so that'll be a fun matchup between the two. DNM, right, I believe, is his brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that your...
Well, DNM's younger brother, right? That's not. It's Tingle King, right?
Double King, yep.
Double King, sorry. Yes, Tingle King is a different player, sorry. Yeah, it's cool, right? Because I think when you get all these new pros, particularly when they're young, something you're looking for is that they're mechanically gifted, right? More so than anything. And I think this is why these pros stand out, particularly DNM, right? He's just a pro that you know is going to play a good game, at least mechanically. Tactics can be taught to him over time. He can play in the right team. That's not really a worry. But what you care about right now is that the skill is there, and the skill is 100% there.
Yep. Agreed. Red 2.
Same with Red 2 and mid lane, or Nico as he goes by competitively.
Yeah, I suppose so. All right, Nico having a really good start here, 12-2 compared to the 6-2. Both mid laners, though, with bottles, neither really giving each other too much harass, as well. Not the same for Albino Zebra top lane, who is maybe dead here, actually. Ooh, Gremlo's going to miss the Timber Chain on over, and a little bit of a move speed slow here is going to dissuade Forsaken Oracle from tanking any tower hits, but they will be bolstered by the fresh creep wave. New reinforcements means that Gremlo, actually, and Forsaken Oracle both getting the kill. DNM unable to actually connect there on the Inkswell. So yeah, like during the draft, you know, I don't think this draft is bad all of a sudden because they don't have a good Inkswell partner in lane, but it certainly does make the Grimstroke feel a little bit weaker, right? It's kind of sucks for him. He doesn't really have the best laning duo to make use of his skills.
Yeah, there isn't much of a lane here, right? Because there's no combo either. There's some heroes that can deal. Like, for example, if you combine Grimstroke with Drow, even though she's not a good Inkswell partner, because her Frost Arrows are such a threat. Oh, bottom lane? No. Because, actually, Lil Nick, we got stunned by the neutral. Lil Nick could be in trouble here. They set up the homing missile. Pale Horse is going for him. And I think Pale Horse is going to get him as Lil Nick, he can't avoid this. Homing missile even hits the squirrel. Crow realizes, but Pale Horse a bit late on the uptake, which means that he is not going to be able to kill off Giant.
And they consume the tree pretty much immediately as well, which means that it's wasted mana on the Bushwhack level 2, so that's a fair amount of damage.
Yeah.
The rare. I didn't know that word was in Arkosh's dictionary.
What?
Are they allowed to say that? Sorry?
Well, only Pale Horse, and he's actually apologizing for the people that will watch the anger of his video montage right after this.
Let's see. There's the cheese. Yes, we are good to go. By the way, Courier Snipes top lane was DNM's Courier. He had 3 tangos, well, just 1 stack of tangos, right? The full magic wand and something else on there. I think it was the completed Wraith Band, at least. Oh, hold on, Gremlo? Oh,
Gremlo?
he's
okay,
right? Yeah, okay.
He is fine, he's fine.
But DNM actually a little bit lower now on the regen. Luckily, they've gotten some good damage on the Gremlo, basically for free there, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a disruptor whose the ganking abilities are not really existent. So you kind of have to stack, and that's your best play, which is fine. But leaving Timber solo in lane, which is something you want to do eventually, usually around the level 3, maybe these days level 5, depending on the lane matchup. Disruptor can't do much besides try to stack around the map, get some vision, maybe put some offensive wards.
Yeah.
That's your tool. Mid lane, Puck is not going to die, I'm pretty sure, no matter what happens.
Pretty much, yeah. It would have to be a pretty big mistake. I suppose it was probably the Lesh calling for perhaps a rotation, or at least calling for some stacks. Maybe even a little bit too early on, because like I pointed out, you did a really good job sniping the Courier. I would have liked to see a little bit of pressure applied, you know, to really kind of exacerbate the lack of regeneration. They're doing a good job now forcing out Albino Zebra, but Deuce's Courier is now flying and on the way, so it should not be impaired here on its quest to deliver its items. And another very aggressive jungle ward here.
What a nice way of saying the Courier's the quest. Beautiful.
They're,
really nice.
They're simple creatures, right? But they are loyal, aren't they? Oh, Albino Zebra's immediately going to get this D ward, though. Great read.
Nice job. Albino Zebra can only do these kind of plays, right? So I guess he's concentrating full his brain power. This lane is... It's like Gremlo's hometown otherwise for him, honestly. As Gremlo is just going to be trying to push him down. He's level 4. I think once you get level 5, you can dive under the tower, but no chakra means you kind of lack the damage and also the slow. So for now, these creep laning shenanigans the best you can do, especially because Deuce struggles a lot sitting under towers.
And it's a little bit scary, I would say, diving in like that, because if you're using Timber Chain aggressively, it does open you up to potentially being hit by the Inkswell. Now that Puck is level 6, you make a great target to rotate to, especially if you're stunned underneath a tier 1. So maybe a little bit more patience from Gremlo. For now, though, the Puck's not interested in rotating away. Of course, laning versus a Lesh, now with 3 points in Diabolic Edict, means that if you are spotted on a different lane, especially while the wagon is here, your tower is going down. So right now, Red 2 doesn't really have that option as they spar for the power runes, which does spawn bottom and is going to go into the bottle of Red 2.
Okay, bottom lane, they are trying to go for Giant here, or Lil Nick, whatever will do, as Crow almost kills either of the two, but they will both survive. Not enough umph here on the gyrocopter. Gremlo is making this top lane his, though. He's soon going to hit that level 6, and then we'll see what they want to do with this gyrocopter. As for now, all lanes have been kind of static except for bottom. We haven't really seen any rotations. They haven't tried to change the space of the map. Now finally bottom. Puck comes by. Pale Horse target. Nice little bushwhack. With the damage from the Puck, can they kill him? They stuck up a Dream Coil. Pale Horse is going to die, and the Dream Coil instead is used for Crow.
Lesh is going top.
Stuck and leashed. They need the bushwhack. They don't have it just yet. He's going to break the coil for them, so no need for the stun. All good.
In trouble top lane. Going to try and TP away? No way, yeah. Here's going to be the Earth Spike, or sorry, the Split Earth in time. And that is going to be a dead Deuce. But the Puck gank down bottom, I think, was a little bit more impactful, seeing as how well that bottom lane was already going for Arkosh. It's going to at least allow this Deuce to recover, even now as she takes her first death. Mid lane, rotation back to the lane out from Red 2 is likely to yield another kill here onto the Forsaken Oracle. Inkswell will connect, and Puck's proving to be a much better user of the Inkswell than the Deuce already. To no one's surprise.
Albino Zebra, yeah, he feels liberated. The guys, my hero can do things I never knew he could. But they have pushed the top lane, however, with this. So the Lesh already being impactful, Crow finds a better partner than the Timbersaw, and the Gyrocopter leaves Pale Horse to farm on his own. And maybe they can down take bit as well with this IO. They really can't catch the Puck. They don't have level 6 yet on the Blesswreck. But they will try to at least kick him out of the lane.
Disappointing glimpse, so they're looking to force that. And they have almost caught him. That was really close.
That's actually pretty good, though. That was almost a really good, really well calculated glimpse there.
Agreed.
But unfortunately, it is a pretty low level glimpse as well. So you can't really play around with that because your cast range is so poor that the Puck will just leave you behind.
The haste here on Gremlo, which is usually a free kill rune. Well, at least under the Courier. Goodbye.
Dire's courier has been killed.
So, of course, feeling free to rotate away to other lanes. And right now, his lane of choosing his bottom, where they're using the epicenter onto his core. Down goes Pale Horse. Forsaken Oracle doing his best here to turn onto Lil Nick. And with the Thunder Strikes applied, will pick up the kill. Glimpse back here for Albino Zebra, who is completely out of mana. Only 6 stick charges, which he is now going to pop. At least allows him to throw a Phantom onto the Timber Saw, which is going to be very quickly cleared. He is going to likely be dove here underneath the tower, but good footwork at least makes Gremlo really work for it, but ultimately nothing he can really do there. Still, a kill onto the Gyrocopter at the end of the day in exchange for the offlaner and position 5.
Forsaken Oracle, very impactful with rotations, honestly, making this Disruptor look like a much stronger 4, at least in the early game. Like, closer to an Earth Spirit, honestly, with how much he's been moving through the map. And Gremlo now covering them as they take the tower. Little Nick has level 6, but no epicenter, unfortunately, because used earlier, so they can't really do much to Gremlo.
And that's a good point that I like how you phrase that, because, pulled that Claude, actually. They are going mid lane. Inks will stun onto Monkey, and it seems like he's just going to die. Does get a little bit of damage off with the Pulse Nova, but not nearly enough to get down Red 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you killed Monk, that's like half the morale of Arkosh Gaming. This is laughter, so it's really important to preserve him.
Should I just go by Monk, not Monkey?
Oh, sorry, Monkey. That's my bad. I think I'm just dyslexic.
That's okay. I wanted to make sure.
No, he is Monkey. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be a tier 1 tower. In fact, Red 2 just tanking for this along with the boys. Gremlo's going to rotate through a bit too slow as he was busy trying to kill a Scorpion down bottom. Albino Zebra might just die for this, but the Inkswell's going to be onto 2. Might create enough space for him to live. There's a homing missile now after him as well as Gremlo. He's going to whiff on the Timber Chain. Okay, he's going to try and deny himself to the neutrals. Almost actually getting that one down, but Gremlo is going to pick up the kill. It seems like now Arkosh are more interested in taking a tier 1 tower.
Yep, and Gremlo is going to be, once again, that barricade, so the enemy team can't just TP in and defend this. With Monkey, it's going to be kind of easy to do. Little Nick. He does the epicenter, though. Gremlo with a hood, I think, can actually tank the whole thing. The tower's already down, so there's no point in committing this. They did put a lot of effort into accomplishing this, however, on 5RATFORCESTAFF. So it's a even bigger win than what Arkosh did, which is just leave their tower to die.
Yeah. And now Forsaken Oracle, although he's likely to die to Red 2 here, because he doesn't have boots, and this Switchblade slow is going to be absolutely brutal. Down he goes. But he is the position 4 after all, and now finally has some boots in his inventory. But I like how you pointed out with the Timber Saw, you know, Timber's one of these heroes that enables these more rotation-heavy position 4s, your Earth Spirits, your Shakers, who else? Tusk, right? Yeah, is really up there. Disruptor doesn't really come to mind, which is interesting because he's kind of a little bit more reliant on XP, even more so than the before-mentioned heroes, because you just, now that we have third point and Glimpse, I mean, this cast range is so much better now. It actually allows you to do things.
Yeah. The Glimpse at the early levels got considerable buffs, right? Because especially the mana cost reduced, okay, whatever, but the cooldown reduction is a big deal. You don't actually need to max this anymore. I think it's fine if you do, mind you, especially in this kind of lineup, but you actually could afford to do like 2 or 3 points there.
Yeah.
Because once you get that second level cast range, I think you're good as Disruptor.
I think normally, yes, I would agree with that, but this game, because you're the position of 4 and Wisp is your other support, you have like literally no gap close other than Timbersaw, but he doesn't have any catch. So bringing the heroes to you via a Glimpse, it sounds actually really, really tantalizing here, especially as a Lesh, who generally is going to struggle to close the gap versus a Sand King versus a Puck especially. So I kind of like the skill build, but yes, I generally do agree with you. These buffs to Disruptor make him much more playable, as the Smoke Gank is not going to pan out into anything.
It's just on the ward dies, like, oh guys, there was a ward here the whole time. I think we're free now. I think we can go gank.
Top lane.
And the top lane. Yeah, 5RATFORCESTAFF seems well positioned to fight this. And they're going to try for now. Little Nick, Epicenter, considered. They also have a Sharpshooter, and it's going to be Pale Horse dying first, and Dreamcoil hits Crow. Crow's been leashed, Crow's been killed, but the reinforcements are here from Arkosh. They do find a support in the back lines. Monkey and Gremlo, the 2 unkillable guys. There's the Stone Gaze used. It seems like Forsaken Oracle
just runs right into it.
Wants to die. Yep. He confused his character with Gremlo, so that makes sense.
Yep. And
Monkey will be able to TP in time. Gremlo's still looking for the aggression, of course. He's the only invulnerable one here.
Yeah, very true. But again, 5RATFORCESTAFF Gremlo his damage is high, but his lockdown is close to nil. A little bit surprised that Crow didn't try and go for at least a relocate play. Didn't have the mechanism. It was on cooldown, so couldn't really go for that. 3.5 seconds is a long time, granted, but I thought for sure we'd see maybe a mini relocate back to the tier 1 tower or something like that. No dice there for him, so the Gyro's just going to eat that entire epicenter and die. Gyro going for a bit of a mixed build, right, isn't he? 3-1-3, so not completely into the flak cannon and farming build, but does have the casual Crystallis at least to boost his farming speed. And straight into BKB for him, so they're not going to try and take this late versus the Dusa, which I think is the right move.
Yep, me too. I wouldn't have minded the Fusel Blade, but I think this is along the same lines of that. Yeah, because that was cheaper, right? But I feel like if you're going Crystallis and you're going to go for BKB and you can still go for the Axe a little bit later, that seems fine to me as well. Arkosh knows their timings. And frankly, even though they know their timings and this build is good, these kind of plays where they die up top and they don't get any kills in return, that kind of... it crushes them when they go for this build, because there really is no contingency plan. You kind of have to win the early, and DNM is happy to continue farming while these things happen.
For sure, DNM even shows up while he's farming and gets a couple of kills there, and you don't really threaten his life. So he is more than confident to do that again, especially once he does now have Stone Gaze ready to go. He's got his defensive item with Manta Style at the ready, so he can look to Manta dodge, I don't know, maybe a Split Earth, right? He can get his armor back if he does get hit by a Whirling Death. So, you know, these things do end up making a difference. A lot more confidence for the Dusa compared to Gyrocopter, who's taken his second death while in this farming stage, still no BKB, and with only a Crystallis, is not going to have nearly enough damage to get into mana shield from the Dusa, even this early.
Also, this is the kind of game where on Dusa, you're trying to literally pile on as many stats as possible, right? Like, you're trying to get the earliest stat sticks that you can and just kind of fight on. There isn't like an item that you go, okay, counters this Arkosh gaming draft. Well, it's more of just a level of farm.
That's true, right? And it's not like Dusa has to really deviate from the normal skill build, but Scotty is really damn strong in this game for Dusa, especially against Arkosh, right? I mean, with a Wisp on the team, as well as with 2 ranged cores, like, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. But I do think that even with Scotty, probably Dusa won't be able to fight just yet. She might need one extra item.
Right. He just ran down here. Gremlo's like, yeah, I don't mind a Sandstorm. I have a hood for this.
You got the Oracle, though. The Oracle's been sent back. There's the Bushwhack. Oracle is dead here, but Jonathan comes in with his partner. Beautiful perfect was Epicenter completely dismantles this initiation by Arkosh. And yes, he might have died for it, but the puck is still alive. Red 2 gets another kill here onto Crow. Has an Illusory Orb, and the Leshrac has been silenced, so there's no way he's being stopped now. And the Dusa even gets some time to farm. The Witchblade slowing him down. There's the Inksoul combo we talked about multiple times. He's gonna get a stun in, and Monkey gets played. Broken ankles. Do monkeys have ankles? Monkeys
probably have ankles, right?
I don't know. I'm not Jade Goodall. I would not know.
Once again? She works with apes.
Can't tell the difference. Monkey looks like an ape to me.
Well.
DNM sent back. There's the Stone Base used. I think he can still maybe get out of this alive. No TP though. Giant's coming by.
He's okay. He didn't even have mana shield back there for that. And the counter initiation's here now.
The Bushwhack has been used. There's the Sharpshooter as well. Everything 4/4 Oracle. And he is going to die. As Lil Nick has to take a detour here to save his Dusa's life, or perhaps to counter-initiate. As he has another Burrow Strike, he does hit the Gyrocopter. That's going to Pale Horse in trouble. Another stun, they hit him with a Bushwhack as well. Someone cut the tree, they can't. And Pale Horse is going to die. Lil Nick, though, and Giant will pay for that. As Crow trying to get away. Now joins with Gremlo, going back for the Dusa. And thanks to Monkey's help, they have enough damage to bring down DNM, who thought he was tankier than he actually was. Nico, you better get away. I don't think you can fight this anymore, but he is going to at least waste the time on the enemy. Well played, Nico. As you can tell, he's a puck spammer.
He is most definitely a puck spammer. That's, again, a big fight. Gyro, correct me if I'm wrong, dies towards the start of that fight, so he does get some decent assist gold, but he still ends up with minus 31 gold. Compared to the Dusa, who still does end up taking a death, but gets a lot of XP out of that fight and still gets a little bit of gold because she's the last one to die. So again, these fights, even though 5RATFORCESTAFF do end up losing their core, they lose their core later, so Arkosh still not getting the better out of these engagements, I would say. At the very least, Arkosh defend their bottom tier 1 tower. That's still up. But 5RATFORCESTAFF, I would say at this stage, more than comfortable hanging back on their own side of the map and just farming whatever they can there. I think that's still going to lead them down the path of victory.
I think this is partially because of Red2 or Nico's great playstyle, because usually, you're right, they wouldn't have enough space to actually at least sustain these 2 cores, because he's going for this insanely difficult farm, this dangerous farm all the time, taking advantage of the lack of stuns in the enemy team. He's opening up the map a lot without needing to take any objectives, right? That allows DPC to go for the really safe farm. And you can see that they're both leading in net worth for that very reason. Yeah, Senkin gets left behind. That's just kind of what you have to do when you're playing like this, because he has to be part of the hunting squad, right? And there he goes, hunting again. Forsaken Oracle, but Puck is joining in, and he can't even get his hunt. Even Nico steals that.
Yeah, set up for the kill, though, of course, and their hunting squad just a lot easier, right? I think Arkosh, the way that they have to start off these fights right now, and even granted with an even net worth lead or no real big disadvantage in the net worth at least, is basically starting off with a glimpse and then kind of killing that isolated target. And that's not the easiest to do, especially when your vision game is not really where you'd want it to be because you've been continuously repelled for the last couple of fights, right? That's kind of another thing to point out, right, is that when you do take these early skirmishes and you end up getting beat back pretty convincingly, it doesn't allow you to place aggressive wards. That's kind of obvious, but when you're trying to keep your pressure on the gas here, when you're trying to keep your foot on the gas, especially when you need...
Which is pressure on the pedal,
Pressure
right?
on the pedal, very true, especially when you need the vision to use your ability Glimpse, which is, again, kind of your only catch. It makes your game so much harder to play.
I agree. Especially when your vision that you're talking about is a very heavy commitment vision. Yeah. He's not like an Enchantress or a Beastmaster. He has to be in the fight to be able to use those skills. As Pale Horse.
It's promising, though.
He's going to try to bait them.
Smoke from behind.
I think he is baited them, but he has active BKB in time. No! Pale Horse is going to die before he gets the BKB off. Crow also falls.
Now Arkosh, they're like, I don't know, are we going in, guys? They're not really too sure. Gremlo smoke broke, so he's like, I might as well. Monkey activates the illusion rune, and he's going to get soul binded anyway. Pretty good counter to the illusions, but Albino Zebra will fall on the backlines. They've caught the Forsaken Oracle, and he is most certainly Forsaken here. Doesn't tick down, actually, to the Witchblade, so does drop at least a kinetic, or static storm, rather, onto the Puck, but there's absolutely zero follow-up here. Lil Nick is suffering to the hands of Gremlo, but Gremlo quickly finds himself alone. As off and away goes Monkey. They have caught up to him. Red2, though, without a stun. He's only going to be able to watch him leave as the stun from Lil Nick not there in time.
You know, when I watch those plays, and I know that's going to be counterproductive to our career, but I wish we weren't casting this and instead we were just listening to team comms. I really want to know what happened there and what they were saying. I mean, come on. That all happened because he couldn't get this BKB off in time because BSJ was Pale Horse, sorry, was playing to the utmost extent of efficiency. And I think that backfired. That was a really interesting play, though. At least the proposition by Arkosh. It didn't really work out. Good punishment by 5RATFORCESTAFF. And how many more of those do you get with the threat of the DPC looming in? With the fact that 5RATFORCESTAFF at a certain point in the game will just completely take over.
Yeah, I kind of feel, I mean, it's only a 2K net worth lead, so it's kind of maybe shocking to hear us speaking like this, but again, this is not really a scaling gyro farm build. He's gone BKB right after the Crystallis. Didn't activate BKB either, at least, so still has this big 9-second charge, which is going to do a lot of damage here, right? Because that basically nullifies Puck, especially now that Puck no longer has the viable upgraded Ag Scepter to really counter this playstyle. But regardless of BKB early and how strong it is, it's still not Ags. Ags is your farming and basically your bread and butter ability here for the Gyro to keep up with the Dusa. They're fighting top lane. This is not advisable, though, for Arkosh, because with numbers and with everyone here and the ultis dropped, as 5RATFORCESTAFF, they've gotten both now. I'm not sure what they decided to do around that tier 2.
Yep. Red2 spamming his voice lines there. You know, sometimes if it's tier 2, that signifies the amount of heroes you have to throw at it. So they threw 2 heroes.
Yep, absolutely.
Unfortunately, that didn't work out because the enemy team can always respond with more, right? That's the issue. That's why it's so much more difficult to push in Dota.
Yeah, they went with the rainbow TPs there on 5RATFORCESTAFF. Completely destroyed those guys. And that's 2 cores, right? That's not just like an offlaner and a support. That's an offlaner and a mid laner.
To be honest, though, they did have a relocate the whole time, so that maybe that was part of their plan, but they didn't use it.
True.
As they're not going to take the strategy away. Crow does get enough distance to tether away back to the Gyrocopter. He TPs, and Pale Horse should start to do the same.
I reckon it's a bad idea to fight without your Disruptor, though. This isn't just your just a Disruptor. He is basically your lockdown in your catch this game, especially against a Puck. So I think even that idea is perhaps not the best. And you know, even bringing in the two cores. Especially because this Lash didn't go for Yule Scepter, which may or may not be the right decision, but all it means is that you have even less lockdown and even less kite potential against this Dusa or less setup, right? So you really need Disruptor in these fights, man.
I think timing that is almost impossible though, because it's supposed to like spear or like an arrow, for example, that you can like put it so they fall on it, right? You can't do that with Split Earth, and so you have to be like exactly there with the timing. So I think it's a bit harder.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely right
against a Puck,
but it is still a 2.56. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Aegis, perfect use. Still a Dream Coil here. Okay, the BKB has been used by Pale Horse. They're gonna burst down Middle Vic. It's looking like an okay team fight for Arkosh before they lose Monkey and a Forsaken Oracle. Red 2, still pretty high in HP. Home for the Squirrel now, and Deforestation will indeed kill the Squirrel. As Gremlo gets stunned for a second, DNM continues this fight now with the help of Red 2.
Scotty.
They're in the high ground, but they're actually stuck thanks to the Scotty and the Puck's help. Pale Horse gets rid of the Ghost, but he can't get rid of the Snake. Gremlo in a similar difficult position. He tries to go back, but he's been silenced. He has no more Timber Chains. He's trying to burn the trees now, as here comes the help from Crow. They have already killed Gremlo thanks to that Witchblade residual damage, and Nico's going for more. No more stuns left though. Nico might be biting off a bit more than he could chew, but he has a phase shift. Awaiting Rift. He's going to wait
the gyro
for the IO to leave. They did! They left the gyro behind!
Wait, but there's a tier 2?
DNM? No, it's true, it's true. They can actually counter-initiate this, perhaps. Forsaken Oracle, though, walking without no Static Storm. There's the IO coming back in again. DNM avoids it with a really nice Manta style, and he'll just walk off. Glimpse won't let him, though. But is this really a win? Yeah, Pale Horse can't fight him head-on. Dusa's too strong right now. They don't have the items.
He wants to 1v4. I've got 4 split shots.
Here. Oh, they have a stun! They bring down Pale Horse with this epicenter. He's gonna die a second time in this fight, and the sharpshooter hits Monkey. And despite Monkey being in the trees, he's not safe there. He's going to fall.
Wait, no.
Okay, well that was bad.
Yeah.
Arkosh is getting destroyed by this.
Arkosh is getting destroyed by the Deuce. As a reminder, of course, that fight started off with Arkosh securing the Aegis and then pretty much promptly losing it shortly after. Tough game, and again, this Eye of Scotty is a big item for the Dusa. She still doesn't have like Daedalus or anything like that, so she's still not really doing a ton of damage. Still 200 in auto attack. Sure, that's something to, you know, snub your nose at, but before Daedalus, this isn't even Dusa being scary yet. This is just her firing warning shots basically, and she's still popping heads here.
And now they found the Timber Saw on top of that. Gremlo in trouble. They push back him to the tree. The Inksoul will hit both, and Gremlo is going to get bursted despite the Static Storm covering him. It's going to do nothing. Oh, when we were talking about Dusa getting online in the late game and this being difficult, yeah, I thought it was going to be like minute 40, not minute 25.
Wow.
This destroyed this game, honestly. Really well played. I think the game was free to a degree for Nico. Usually pucks don't have this level of impact.